Morning, everybody. Welcome. Many of you have already been here for a few minutes, and so you've signed on. You can look in the chat room if you're just getting in now to see who's here. And I guess I should first let you know who else is behind the scenes, because I don't do this alone. In fact, almost nothing on the Palouse Mindfulness site do I do alone. Even from the very beginning, I didn't create the didactic material, the lecture material myself. It was from other teachers, as you know, since you've been on the course. And making this all happen, I've got my partner in crime, Lauren, who's a co-host, and I'm going to unmute her and let her say hello. She's going to be doing the question and answer and making sure I don't do something stupid like trying to speak when I'm muted. So maybe Lauren, you could say hello if you're there.
Hi, everybody. Glad to see you all.
And we've got Keith, and Keith's going to be responsible for making the breakout rooms work, which turns out is a little complicated to make it work the way we want it to work. So he's going to make sure all that works. And Keith, you say hello.
Good morning, everybody. I'm in my little dungeon hole in the basement.
Welcome. Thank you, Keith.
Thanks.
And we got Heiski from Spain. And Heiski is going to be communicating with those of us who want to be in a Spanish breakout room and helping us with that. So welcome, everybody. I also wanted to welcome the students that are here. I've opened up this meeting to not just the graduates, but also to students who are taking the course. I thought it would be nice to have them have a chance to see some of the graduates and some of their fellow students. In the very beginning, when we first began the online course, there wasn't a way for anybody to really communicate with anybody else because it didn't have any sort of online access then. And now we have an online student group, so people can chat with each other by Facebook, but it's all by posts, so nobody's seeing or hearing each other, just to actually interact with them other people real time. And so this is a chance for that to happen. So I want to welcome the students. I'm not going to make a long introduction because I wanted to make sure we had time for the breakout groups and for the questions and answers, because to my mind, that's really what this is about. It's not about me. It's really about you. It's about giving you a chance to talk to each other and see each other and hear each other from other parts of the globe, really, and provide something that wouldn't exist otherwise. When I first created the online course, there was a kind of a surprising discovery that it actually was very useful for people and just as transformative for people who did it online as it was as what I saw in the in-person classes. But in order for that to happen, they had to finish. And in the in-person classes, I had maybe about 85% of the people who actually finished the course. And in the online classes, it's about a little under 20% of those who start the course. And it turns out, this is surprising too, that's actually better than most other non-academic online courses. The average is about 15%. And the reason I believe that happens is because in the online, when you're doing online without anybody there to support you and no meeting to go to on a Tuesday night or whenever, you're less likely to finish without group support. So one of my hopes is that by doing Zoom meetings like this and giving you a chance to meet with other people who have done the course or doing the course, that those who are doing the course will be more likely to finish. So we're going to begin with a meditation, and after the meditation, it'll be about 15 minutes. And after the meditation, we'll go into the breakout rooms, and after the breakout rooms, we'll do question and answer. So just want to make yourself comfortable. I'm going to get myself comfortable in my squeaky chair. And just let yourself notice that where you are, that you're here now. Let yourself feel the support of the chair or the floor or whatever you're resting on. Bring awareness to the body. Letting your body tell you how it is to be sitting here right now. Feeling the support of the chair or the cushion or the couch where you were sitting on. Recognizing that this awareness is really two-way. It's both you receiving input from your body to let you know where it is. There's also a gentle hand reaching out to your body, acknowledging and recognizing that it's there so it can be felt by just a gentle blanket of your awareness. Noticing your feet, your thighs, your buttocks on the chair or the couch or the cushion. Your arms, how they're resting on your sides or in your lap. And letting awareness in of whatever sensations are there. Tingling or throbbing, or even if you don't have specific sensations, it's a sense of being open and aware for your physical presence right now. And when you're ready, bring the awareness to your breath. Wherever you're feeling it most vividly in your tummy or your chest or your throat or your nostrils. In this type of meditation, we don't really force our breath to be any certain way because you're breathing just fine. It's just noticing it the same way that you might notice waves on the seashore. As you watch the waves come in and go back out, as a wave crests and then spreads out on the sand, and goes back out. Follow your breath the same way, not demanding the breath be any different any more than you'd ask the waves to be any different. Any faster or slower, higher or lower. And as you sit there, you might recall a time when, for whatever reason this happened, you felt safe sharing yourself in a group. Maybe you took a risk and surprised yourself, said something to someone, or did something for someone, or spoke out when others disagreed, when you thought you were the only one. And you were surprised that once you shared, that not only did it not separate you from others, that it made you closer. When you let people in that way. And If you recall a time like that, just letting that wash over you, what happens in that case. Or it could be a time when somebody else shared something personal, something they didn't expect to share maybe. And they were a little apprehensive about doing that, but when they shared themselves, you saw something in them that you didn't see before. And actually made you feel closer to them. And maybe it was something that you too were feeling but weren't saying, but somebody else spoke it for you. Or maybe you can just recall a time when you just felt comfortable being in the group. You didn't have to say anything one way or another. It was just okay to be there. And when we go into our small groups later, it'll be okay to share or not to share. It's really fine. However you choose to participate, because you're actually participating even when you don't speak. And for the next 5 or 6 minutes will be a silent meditation. And you can continue with this theme or a breath meditation or whatever kind of meditation you'd like it to be. It's going to be your time. And I'll end that time with a bell. So we're about 20 minutes from closing. So my hope was that we'd have at least 20, 30 minutes for questions and answers and sharing. And so we have that now. So if you have a question or want to make a comment about the experience or anything you'd like to say to the whole group, now is the time to do it. You just raise your hand and let Lauren know, and Lauren will cue you up to share or ask. And by the way, when in the past I've asked people explicitly, I said, is it okay if I use this in the video to share with others? Everybody's always said yes, but I don't want to make that assumption. So if you do come on the main screen, you're sharing something or have a question, and you'd rather it not be shared with others, let me know that by email, and I'll make sure that it doesn't wind up in the final version, because I do some editing to make something that's going to be worthwhile to people who look in. So if you're sharing something you don't want to be shared, you can say it, of course, while you're sharing, but you'd rather just do it as an email, let me know then, and I'll make sure that it doesn't get shared. So anybody have any
There are
comments?
two hands raised, Dave. So we've got Maria, and Maria, I will
I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you've done and for what you're doing. I found it very, very helpful, and I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't available so easily online. So thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. And Maria, where are you from?
Originally from Serbia, and at the moment in Switzerland.
In Switzerland now, is that what you said?
In Switzerland, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's great to have you here. It
Thank
touches
you.
my heart to know that so many people can be reached in this way, just globally. I had no idea. I thought when I first took the online course, I thought maybe a few people would find it by accident, and now to see it happen like this in so many different parts of the world is just really heartwarming. And you can probably imagine why I would do such a thing for free, because it's so grateful to be able to be in a place where be involved with something that can touch so many lives. So thanks for being here and thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Dave, Cecilia Castrillon. Cecilia,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to unmute you.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Cecilia.
How nice to see you.
Nice seeing you.
First of all, also, I'd like to really thank you, Lauren, Keith, all those involved in having these meetings. It's really wonderful. And actually, I think there are very few of us here because in the John Kabat-Zinn events that I've been attending, the 13 weeks, the retreat he did, there's a lot of people who have done the course, and I've met a lot of them, and it's really wonderful because it's like from all over the world. So I really appreciate, just like Maria, really, and making it available also in Spanish, and it's wonderful, especially to me because here I'm in Quito, Ecuador, and there's not that many people that I'm able to get involved in the mindfulness movement, I could say, right? Because to me it's like a movement. It's so wonderful. Okay, I do have a question. I'd like to know, for you, what's the difference between awareness and consciousness? Sorry,
we'll start with an easy question.
Sorry.
I think you could probably invent just definitions of each of those. Would be a lot of overlap. I'm not sure. In fact, I've been thinking quite a lot about that. There's in some philosophies they say our awareness that we have as individuals is just part of the total awareness, and that even when we're not aware that we're aware, there is awareness going on. When we're doing things that are mechanical and automatic, and we're not particularly mindful, that there's some philosophies that say there is some awareness going on. And I always had a little bit of trouble with that. So where is it?
Right.
Where is that
Yeah.
happening exactly?
Yeah.
But what I can identify with, what makes sense to me, is even when there's not awareness going on, and I could be doing something mechanically or automatically, or somebody else can be, there is aliveness. There is something always going on. If we're alive and we're living and we're breathing and we're interacting, there's aliveness going on, and that's what's always there. And that's what wants to happen everywhere in the world. I tell people that Lauren has my bucket list. I don't have a bucket list about where to go in the world, and I don't realize that I would have wanted to go until I've gone. And the first place we went was the Galapagos Islands. And
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And we're right through Cusco and probably close to where you are now.
Yeah. I've
Kiko,
been there.
sorry.
Yeah, I've been there. So I know. It's just amazing.
And here is this set of islands that were volcanic, so it was just lava and rock, right? Nothing there.
Yeah.
And now so full of life.
Yeah.
Plants
Right.
and animals of all kinds, and not all ones that we brought there. In fact, ones we brought there have been problems. And that tells me there's life just wants to happen. So when somebody says consciousness is primal and it's everywhere, it's hard to identify with that, but I can identify with life being everywhere, life wanting to happen everywhere. So when I think about awareness and consciousness, that's what I think
I
about.
love it. That's wonderful you say that, because I used to teach. I went 5 years to teaching in 3 weeks every year in Galapagos, and it's so easy to be mindful there. I mean, it's nature absorbs you. I mean, you're just there. I forgot about everything when I was there. So yeah, I understand what you're saying perfectly. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you both too. Finally.
And I see Elena has a hand up.
Yes, Elena has her hand up. So Elena, I'm going to unmute you.
And spotlight her too.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say once again, thank you to Dave. I did my course, my 8 weeks course with Palouse Mindfulness a few years ago. And just a month ago, I got a certificate. So I'm a fully accredited mindfulness teacher.
Congratulations.
And so all the inspiration and the support and the motivation, it came from here, from this network and from Dave in person, because thank you once again for all your help and support. So, and also I had a wonderful pilot course. So for the assessment, we had to have a pilot course.
Yeah.
And I launched it for free, so I didn't charge any money. And most of the people came from Palouse Mindfulness. And it was a wonderful group, wonderful, from all over the world. And I see some of the people from our group today in this meeting. So it's so moving. So thanks again. And I think this story of mine might actually give some ideas to people who want to turn mindfulness into their profession and really start sharing seriously and professionally. I have a question.
Sure.
Dave, and the question is, and it came across in my pilot course, that in the sitting meditation, when we invite participants to become aware of the physical sensations, of the emotions, and of the thoughts, some people told me more than once, several times actually, that, oh no, please, at the moments when we just feel so completely relaxed, and thank you very much for your voice and everything, you invite us to start doing something, and that kind of ruins everything. So, they find a contradiction. So what I've been trying to say, well, this can be the object of your meditation. So just investigate, explore your own attitude to this, your own state, your own emotions. But what would you say? Thank you.
And Elena, so I understand it. Is it when the guidance, the audio guidance, that interrupts this peaceful place they were in?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's not the guidance. It's when in the sitting meditation, we just turn to the thoughts and the emotions. So it's not anymore just observing and noticing what there is, but really to start pay attention specifically to the sounds around, to the emotions and to the thoughts.
And are they doing that kind of spontaneously and on their own when they start paying attention to it, or is that done with?
So it was in the guided meditation, and when we had discussions of the guided meditations, what they felt, how it was, and some people would say it was great, it was really great, but to start paying attention specifically, intentionally to thoughts, that kind of breaks the whole flow.
Yeah. So what I would say to them is that it's perfectly okay to do meditations without the guidance after they've done it for a few times. With the guidance, with the audio guidance, so they know what's there and have a sense of that. It's perfectly okay to just do a silent meditation on their own. So they don't have to be paying attention with somebody else's direction. And if that does happen when they're doing it on their own, it's just to recognize that that's also, there's a place to hold that, that's a thought or an emotion. And there's a choice to explore it or not to explore it. And then that's their choice. When we did first did our graduate groups here in town, and I do guided meditations, I had people say, I really don't like all the guidance. I'd like less guidance. Could you please, some silence would be nice. And other people say, I like the guidance. I like it a lot. It really helps me keep on track. So what I took to doing is what you saw me do today, is half guided and half without. But for some people, it's just more natural, and they're disciplined enough to be with their own experience, and they prefer it without guidance, and that's perfectly okay. And other people like guidance, even if they've been meditating for 10, 15 years, they still prefer a guided meditation, and that should be okay too. So it's a matter of personal preference. Did that help answer the question?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
It's great to see you. Congratulations on finishing your certificate. That was a lot of work, I'm sure.
Oh, sorry, I muted her.
Yeah. Lauren's going to unmute you so you can say what we didn't hear you say a minute ago. You're still muted there. You might have to.
Yes, it was a lot of work, but I think going back, through my life and all my different universities and education and everything, training, I think I've never ever in my life been so motivated. So that helped a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you had such a good experience with your first pilot class.
So Dave, Leora has her hand up.
Okay.
I will unmute her.
Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for doing this. Really nice to be here. So like Elena said, that she's running the group. I just finished the online course like 2 or 3 months ago. And I'm used to meditate by myself, but I joined, the Kabat-Zinn 13 weeks. And now I keep doing this by myself. So I'm really interested in joining maybe a weekly group of meditation if someone is doing that, not to go again over maybe, the online certification, but to be able to meditate in a group, because I really miss like the community and to do mindfulness exercises with someone else. So is there a way that we can do that?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of very nice meditation groups that are, since COVID happened, there are dozens and dozens of teachers that have made their meditations available. And if you go to the Palouse Mindfulness website and look under resources, you'll see COVID resources as the first item in red there. Okay. And go in there, and there are online meditations. There's one group that has them every single hour of every day.
Wow.
So you just go, go to resources on the
resources.
In fact, I'll see if I can do it quickly here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and and they're all different kinds. There's some that meet weekly, some that meet daily, some that, as I said, this one meets, there are different groups that meet every single day. And once you find one that you like, many of them meet every week or every month, then you can just stay with that one and stay with it.
Okay.
So it's a nice way to find some company,
Yes.
where you don't have a local meditation group that you can.
Exactly, that's what happened. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're
That's
welcome.
awesome.
Yeah, it's nice
Okay.
to see you in person.
Nice to see you too. Thank you, Dave.
Dave, there are quite a few people who've noted in the chat that they'd like to have weekly meditations. So I don't know if they want to join one of these larger groups or they want to start one of their own. So I don't know if you want to respond to that or not.
Yeah. So what I'll do in the notes, let me make a note of it here so I don't forget it. I will share that website, the web page that I was mentioning to Leora about where to find those meditation groups, and I probably, well, I don't have the bandwidth to set up a regular weekly meditation group here with you, but those groups would have them, and you may be able to find local people as well through those groups. But I'll send that link so people know about that, so they can have that as a resource. So we have just a couple of minutes left. Any other questions or comments? You can raise your hand. We can do that, or we'll just say goodbye in a few minutes. So Elena is back. So you want to unmute Elena? Thanks.
Yeah, this is just to say that I do have a weekly meditation. I started twice a week right at the beginning of the lockdown. But now during the summer it's only on Thursdays. But I'm in Europe, so for many of you it's Thursdays 6:30 Brussels time, so it's Central European time.
So that's not a bad time. 6:30 Central European time would be like 10:30 in the morning here.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's not a bad time.
And it's every Thursday. Yeah.
And every Thursday. So Elena, would you send me the information about that?
I will.
Share that with everybody. It's okay for anybody to join that group?
Absolutely, yeah. Sure.
Great. And Leora, where are you? Remind me.
I'm in Philadelphia.
So that's
it's
not
Eastern
bad.
time.
It'd be like 1:30 your time. So if that's the time that would work for you, I don't know.
And no, because I work 8 till 5, so I will be working. So,
okay. So other people that might work for, and go find that page. There are just really dozens of different.
Oh, thank you. That's
groups.
awesome.
And some of them you'll see if you pick one particular time for one of those, you'll see the same group each week. So you'll have something awesome. of a sangha there. And Cesare might have a question.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I will unmute him. Okay, Cesar, go ahead.
I just want to add, Mindful Leader has every hour, 24 hours a day, and you can choose a group, and it's 15 minutes of silent meditation and then discussion, but you do not have to speak. And by doing it every day at that same time, I think it's what you're looking for. It's another one in addition to what Dave has.
Yeah.
Mindful Leader.
Yeah, and
Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Thanks, Cesare. And Mindful Leader was the one I was thinking of as well. It had meditations every single hour of every single day. And that's on that same page that I'll make available to everybody.
Okay, no more hands raised.
All right. So I'll just give just about 30 seconds in case anybody has some last word. And if not, we'll just take this time to say goodbye. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us for this hour and a half and being here and participating in small groups. And for those of you who are joining us as a student, not as a graduate, welcome to this. We'll probably open it up to students again if I hear back from people that was a useful experience. I expect I will.